What's going on, everyone? How you guys doing? Matt Jarbo here with 3 Buck Theater, and today we got a little bit of interesting information coming in from the direct.com, running an article titled "Exclusive: Rosario Dawson's Ahsoka Tano contracts is a Disney Plus multi-show deal." Now, this to me is fascinating because it does make a fair amount of sense given what we know surrounding everything involving Mandalorian, the future of Star Wars, and the future of the franchise on D Plus and even the theatrical films. All right, we know that the success of Mandalorian and Baby Yoda is what's going to kind of shape the D Plus side of things, but it's also potentially going to start also pushing into the film side of things. I know the 2022 film is still on the docket. That hasn't been changed. We don't know what it is yet. It could be something involving the High Republic, although the people involved with the High Republic say, no, nothing is in production. Nothing that we're working on is in production for anything outside of the books and the comics and the young adult novels. But that doesn't necessarily say that they're not actively pursuing that as being the film for 2022. Now, I've laid out my reasons why I think that's the case. I do think that it has a lot to do with China and trying to build up an audience there leading into the prequels, the OT, and then the sequel trilogy. It's a long game. It's a long gamble by Disney, but it's one I think they are in fact going to play. So this is what we know coming in from the direct.com. So it says here, according to our contributing insider Daniel Rickman, Rosario Dawson's Ahsoka Tano contract is reportedly a multi-show deal. For reference, this is a unique type of contract seen most often with MCU actors and actresses who have signed on to other film and television show properties in the past. This is not a confirmation that Rosario Dawson's Ahsoka Tano will indeed appear in other Disney Plus shows, rather that Lucasfilm is potentially interested in having her character make future appearances in other shows, thus including this clause in her contract. Cool. What does it mean? Well, I mean, if we really look at the timeline of events, it means that there's going to be probably a fair amount of de-aging of Rosario Dawson across the board. So if they do the cameo appearance in Mandalorian Season 2, which takes place 5 years after the events of the Battle of Endor, the prologue, or I should say, sorry, the epilogue of Star Wars Rebels takes place 5 years or so after the events of Return of the Jedi, so it puts them in the same timetable. This was clearly something that was done on purpose when developing The Mandalorian. This is where they knew they wanted to go with it. This is Dave Filoni absolutely being Dave Filoni. Another aspect of it, though, is the Cassian Andor show. So in Star Wars Rebels Season 1, which takes place before the events of A New Hope, which is also before or right around the same time, or no, actually before the events even of Rogue One, we learn that Ahsoka Tano is Fulcrum, the agent that is helping the Ghost and its crew fight back against the Empire. So we know that that's Ahsoka Tano, which basically means that in the sequel show, or in Cassian Andor and all these other things, they are clearly going to put Ahsoka Tano in there, because this is Cassian Andor before the events of Rogue One, when he was still a spy with the rebellion. So Fulcrum just seems to make the most amount of sense. But the timing there between really between A New Hope and 5 years post Return of the Jedi is not that far, so they probably won't have to de-age her that much, but there might be a little bit of de-aging as time goes on. But this is also not the first time that Rosario Dawson has signed on to a deal like this. Now, we know that Marvel really does want to start pushing things like the cinematic universe, or sorry, Disney wants to basically recreate the Marvel Cinematic Universe. We know this, we get this, but what they're doing with her is the same thing they did with her as the Night Nurse, as Claire in Daredevil, and Jessica Jones, Luke Cage, Iron Fist, The Defenders. She showed up in almost all of those seasons as Claire, as the Night Nurse, and became as big of a fan favorite as I think some of the main stars. So this is not something she is not accustomed to doing. My question then becomes, what about the filming? So when she did everything in for the Marvel shows, that had everything to do with shooting on location in New York. Here they're shooting stagecraft tech. Is the stagecraft tech going to be used for all the other shows? I would argue that it probably would, because it's a tried and tested method, and they know that they've already got the technology, and they can easily go in there and shoot different shows when other shows aren't in production, therefore making it a very, very, very easy to use setup that is going to be mind-blowingly amazing for the future of Star Wars. And because they've already established the tone with The Mandalorian, it does make the most sense that this is how they're going to do things, which means that they could easily be shooting two shows so close together, or even predominantly at the same time, that it wouldn't be hard for Rosario Dawson or anyone else who's going to make the multiple appearances to appear in the different shows set in different timelines. It's just, it could be done super easy. If you've watched the behind the scenes on the stagecraft tech, they can literally adjust the world around them in real time, even adding and subtracting elements of the horizon. It's crazy what they're able to do with that. But anyway, this is fascinating news right now. I don't quite know where it's going to go after this. I really want to get actual sourced information. I know this came from Daniel Rickman. He's an insider, but I asked Jason Ward about it. Didn't hear anything about Jason Ward. I asked Mikey Sutton if he knows anything. He gave me a little bit of a tease for something that's coming in a couple weeks. So look forward to that information, which could corroborate this. He didn't say that it didn't corroborate. In fact, my mind pretty much argues that it probably is going to corroborate in some fashion. We'll have to wait and see what's going on with that one. But right now, it does kind of appear that the scoopsters are all kind of circling around a lot of the same or at least similar information, which should then give us a good look at the future of where this stuff is supposed to go. But I look forward to your thoughts. I look forward to your opinions. Be sure to leave a comment below. Be sure to subscribe, hit that bell. And if you want to get more personal conversations going, talk about movies and everything else, be sure to head over to twitch.tv/3bucktheater for the Hollywood After Dark live stream, or you can always check the replays on the Hollywood After Dark YouTube channel, which is linked in the video description. Also become a channel member today to help support and get exclusive access to exclusive live streams at least once a month. That's what we're doing. Anyway, I'll talk to you guys all later. Have yourself a great day. Thank you for watching, and peace out.